Talking to today, Nancy Shapiro, Rich Riebling, Talia Lomax O'Neill, and Michael Burcham. So, great.
Thank you for having us.
Great. As soon as Zach hits that, we'll go.
Should I introduce everybody? Sharon Lawson, Finance Director. Chip Knopf, Chief Traffic Engineer. Christian Rice, Chief Signal Engineer. And Mark Macy, Director of Public Works.
Thanks.
So on the surface, it looks like I've got the easy slide of the presentation. We're here to talk about traffic and how to manage the traffic issues, for lack of a better word, the problem that we're dealing with here in Davidson County. Right now we have 1,000 traffic signals, 800 signalized intersections, and 1,000 school beacons and warning flashers. 100,000 signs throughout the county, a lot of them, and numerous markings everywhere. So in a nutshell, management of the traffic is a must. If you don't manage the traffic control that you have, it breaks down on you and you end up having traffic management issues and traffic jams. And so in our world, in the engineering world, it's a volume capacity issue. You have a V over C ratio. And when your volume exceeds capacity, you can imagine it breaks down. You have backed up traffic. So we try to manage the volume by having MTA or bikes or other multimodal systems, sidewalks, and we lower that volume, and at the same time there are ways that we can increase the capacity, not widening roads. We're not going to widen Hillsborough Boulevard. We're not going to widen West End, but we can widen or expand that capacity by technology, better signal timing, better management of what we've got. And I'll get into the numbers of the staffing that you should have as far as the feds go and all that, but Kristen's going to explain how you increase the capacity without widening a road.
So this is a slide of our new state-of-the-art controllers. The one on the right is our old controllers that are end of line. We can't get them fixed. We can't do anything with them, so we had to do something new. So the blue ones are state-of-the-art, brand new. They can do anything that we would ever want them to do. They can do transit signal priority, which we'll be doing with MTA's project. They'll do traffic responsive. They'll do adaptive. They'll do detector switching, whatever we want them to do. So they're really state-of-the-art. We have 200 in stock right now. We have plans to get 600 in by the end of this year, hopefully. And in addition to that, we are in the process of installing a brand new central software system. It's called Syntrax, and it's going to replace our dial-up, if that tells you how old that is, dial-up system that we currently use now. And we'll be able to access these controllers from our desktops with the central software, and we'll be able to look at signal timings, adjust, tweak those as needed. So that takes us to our next slide, which is, hopefully it'll run for us. I don't know if it's going to. This is a model of what we use to do our signal timings. And so this is the model that our consultants, what we use when we need to go in and just kind of watch something and see how it's going to work. So what you're looking at here is the 21st Avenue, which is the one I really want you to pay attention to. If it's, I don't know if it's going to work. I think you need QuickTime. But anyways, if it were working, you'd be able to see how it is really queuing up along 21st Avenue, because this is a model that has poor coordination, no synchronization, no signal timings. It has bad offsets, which offsets are what you see when you're looking down a corridor and you see one go red right after the other. That's an offset. We put that in there to coordinate traffic. And ideally what you want is a green band. That makes sense. You want traffic to move along. So this one, were it working, you'd be able to see that none of those are in place. The detection, which is, if you could kind of see the little fuchsia colored boxes, that's the detection on there. So this model has no synchronization, it has bad offsets, it has bad detection, no communication, and it's just backing up all the way along 21st Avenue. So our next one is communication. Communications are vital to a successful traffic system. And what I mean by communication is detection. So those loops that you sometimes see cut in the road, if you don't see them, they're under the pavement. That's what our traffic signals, our controllers look for when a car is sitting on that. Sometimes they're video, but the majority are detection. Or loops. They get cut sometimes with construction or if there's heavy truck traffic. So we really need to keep that detection operating and maintained. In addition, communications along corridors. So what we have currently, majority, is twisted pair copper, and most of it is 20-plus years old, and it's very dated and state-of-the-art, and what's current right now is fiber. And with fiber, you can bring video back to our office. It's much higher speed, much better reliability, and to be able to have any kind of management system from our offices, we really need fiber. And then in addition, with fiber goes a TMC, a traffic management center, which is where we can sit at our desktops and here's a slide that shows a good TMC. With video, if you can bring video back with fiber, and you can at your desk watch the traffic. So if there's a problem area, you can go into that model or our central software and fix it right then. It's immediate. There's also benefits of synchronization and coordination. There's the time benefit, there's the gas, there's the green benefit, which is emissions and air quality. There's also the public perception of moving traffic, which is very important. We did another signal timing project in 2006, which had, I think, 12 corridors in it, and the estimated economic impact of those 12, and we're doing 19 now, so if that gives you any kind of comparison, was $15 million annually, just in signal timing alone.
So I know I don't want you to run out of time, so don't forget to tell me what your ask is.
Our ask is
We're getting there.
10 staff, 10 full-time equivalents next fiscal year, another 7 the following year, another 10 after that. Brings us up to the federal recommended guidelines for engineers and technicians to work on traffic signals and traffic. I can explain this in the question session. Mark wants to wrap it up with some cost for our ask.
The cost is really cost to the taxpayers. It's lost time, lost money in gas, so on. The other question that we as a government should be ready to answer is, are we doing everything we can to reduce congestion? And to do that, we need roughly $13 million over 3 years to get to that solution. And I'll stop right there.
So the ask is 13 million,
Over 3 years.
is that
Operating. There's,
550.
that's,
Capital would be 7 million, operating would be approximately 2.7 million.
yeah. Thank you. And there's about $500,000 a year in continuous maintenance upgrades.
okay. You ready? We're going to actually let you guys go first.
I want to talk about the now and what you're doing now. I think I see in your proposal about you discuss inefficiencies in some operations, and that you want to be proactive instead of reactionary, which leads me to believe that there may be some resources that can be reallocated within the budget toward this. Can you speak to that, or has that already been considered within your estimate?
We're spending capital money now to get some of these things taken care of. We'd like to shift that over to operating. Right now, when a loop goes bad, like Kristen mentioned, or a video camera goes bad, we contract it out to get fixed. We don't have a crew to fix it. That's where you might could shift from spending it out of capital to having that staff.
Just moving money, or are we actually solving a problem?
That's what that's kind of
The
what I'm getting.
problem, sometimes there's a lag in when you can get that contractor out there and detection. We'd like to have that crew. Not only would we save money, because the third party's making money.
So it costs more to send a private crew out there than it would be.
A lot of times we have knockdowns in the middle of the night. We're paying emergency rates because we don't have to, we hire that out too.
But to Talia's question about reallocation, we clearly have crews that are already in place. We have a crew, so couldn't we retrain that crew, or
I think we're spending about $2 million a year in capital right now on outside consultants. I don't know about Stancil, but maybe they're $1 million.
We're spending $1 million on consultants and another 100 and so thousand on just labor for detection, and then Stancil's a whole different ballgame.
And so there is an ask. The difference is,
There's a lot of asks here, so let's keep asking. Yes.
so we have a full-time staff is the ask, which is,
Which is the 10-7-10.
right.
Yeah. Okay, but then you're also, so for the purpose of this, you're just asking for the staff?
Yes.
Or are you also asking for the
We do have some capital.
capital?
It's a
Okay.
combination
All right.
of,
It's like 9.5 capital.
And they are independent, though. They can be independent.
Okay.
The staff to manage it, like she said, the copper versus fiber, they're just communication lines. Fiber would be much better. We still need the people either way if we keep the copper.
I understand. So,
Is the capital to move to fiber? That's just still
Yes,
not clear.
yes, sir.
Sorry.
Yes.
Dense here.
No, it's fine.
So the
There's
capital
existing
request
copper
is to go
wires out
from-
there, and they're brittle, and they're aging, and they will not transfer video rate.
Okay, so the capital part is to go from copper to fiber.
Yes, sir.
And then the people are
that's
to
about-
maximize and optimize the flow.
Yeah,
the communication part is about $5 million.
Okay,
The new traffic management center is about $3 million.
Okay.
And then you have $3.5 million for staff.
right. And right now, you said you've got 200 of the new state-of-the-art pieces already going in place, or they're going up now? And you have 400 additional ones coming, or, and when will they be here?
We plan to have all those in this year,
Yes, I know, I'm so excited about that.
and
Okay,
then synchronize the arterials.
okay.
and can you give us a head count of staff today?
staff today, glad you asked. Right now, and again, guidelines are guidelines, but federal guidelines say you should have an engineer per 100 signals. 50 to 100, I'm going to give it the soft estimate. We have one engineer, and I would take 10 more of her, believe me, but we have one engineer for our signal system. So we're short, we're asking for 8 engineers over the 3-year program. And we have 11 technicians right now. The federal guidelines say you should have 1 per 40 signals, which would mean we need about 16 more staff. And I think we're asking for, what we say in here, it's 27 total, so
Yeah, 27.
19 technicians. The technicians are the heart and soul of it. We can have engineers in that office doing their calculations, but you got to have the people in the streets doing the work, yeah.
So who issues those guidelines?
Federal Highway Administration.
So those are recommendations and not necessarily
Yes, ma'am.
requirements.
Yes, ma'am.
So how, again, so to kind of get to the core of it, what is the public going to see from this? And how can you promise me, or more importantly, the mayor, how the public's going to benefit from this?
Well, like your timing program we're doing this year, we don't want them to really even notice that they got to work quicker. That's my speech I give. You got to work quicker. You got
them to notice.
Well, they will. They'll call us when they're not, but they'll notice that they got to work quicker. They won't know why. How about that? They made that signal and they thought they just got lucky, when really there was a calculation behind the scenes. Signal timing needs to be done in a thorough way every 3 to 5 years, and we're doing it every 5+ years, and we're contracting that out at a couple $1 million every time. To do this traffic thing right, you need somebody sitting in there. When we get a call or we know that Brentwood's got an issue, we can go out there and work on it instead of waiting on these contracts to come through with a consultant to do all this analysis for us.
So talk to me about the technology, because clearly there's a technology component here. Is this technology going to also enable my phone to somehow track or talk to, is this more expansive than just that little box there?
Right now we have the box and we have software that brings it back to our office. Now, we ideally would like to get IT people that know more about this than I do to get it on your phone, or at least on a web version, where if you can get it on your web, you can get it on your phone.
Right. I mean, in some places I know now you can actually track the signal lights, so I can tell if I'm going 34 miles an hour, I'm going to hit every signal. Or if I'm going 25 miles an hour, I'll, you know.
We would, that's where we want to get.
But would this technology
Not right now.
get us there?
This document would, this investment plan would get us to that point where we could get it to some web-based information. Now, I better not speak out of my expertise in saying I could get it on your phone. I don't know, but I know we could get it back to our office, and that's through the internet, so I assume we could get it
Okay.
to
I'm just thinking about the technology that you all are wanting to purchase and how.
Right now, we've purchased the controllers, the box, and we've purchased the software to get it back to our office, which enables us to talk through copper. And the next steps would be to have people to manage it.
And then to talk through fiber.
And then to get to that fiber and cameras. And maybe you can see a video on your phone someday.
That's time. All right. thank you all. Really appreciate it. And thank you for all you do. And no. And absolutely, we want them to know this.